This Sunday is former President Ronald Reagan's birthday. The 40th President of the United States served as Commander-in-Chief from 1981 to 89 and left behind quite a legacy. Joining us now to celebrate his life and reflect on the legacy he left us, former advisor in the Reagan White House and columnist for the American Spectator, Jeffrey Lord. Jeff, you know, there's so many things I could say about Ronald Reagan. I'll always have a soft spot for the shining city on the hill. He was such an optimist. Even when the media was just bombarding him, he had a way of seeing through it and seeing something better down the road, which always impressed me.
Yeah, he did. He was indeed an optimist all of the time. He was very principled. He knew what he believed. He had read widely. And, you know, his stint as a spokesperson for General Electric was very interesting because he had a good movie career, and World War II sort of put that on hold. And when he came back, the movie career was starting to go down the chute. Television came along, and out of the blue, he gets this offer to be the spokesperson for GE. So he not only is on GE, the host of GE Theater, which was every Sunday night. I remember this as a kid. He was also being sent all around America to speak at GE plants. Out of this came what we on the staff used to call the speech. He had a full set of principles that he reiterated over and over and over again, famously on 3x5 or 5x7 cards that he had in his pocket all the time. But he knew what he believed and combined that with his personality and, to be blunt, his acting skills. I think Tom Brokaw asked him at the very end if those had helped him, and he said, I don't know how I could do the job without having been an actor.
Yeah. Point. And he had a great sense of humor that came through. And since he was an actor, he could deliver the line. He not only would have the joke, and as you know, he won the 1984 election essentially from one line in the debate with Mondale.
Yes, I am not going to criticize the age and inexperience of my opponent because they were trying to make Reagan's age. Right. And said it, and the camera was positioned so that you could see Walter Mondale, and he burst out laughing. Yes,
it was a great line. Now, this is somebody, by the way, people may not know this about Ronald Reagan. He was a Democrat in the early days. He was the president of the Screen Actors Guild. That's all happened before he became governor of California. So this is somebody that you think, oh, he was an actor. But he put in his time as a politician, and he understood how to get things done. And was great at delegating. That was one thing I always admired about him as a president.
Yes, he did. You know, and that made it very easy for the staff because we knew exactly what he was thinking. So it was very easy for us to go out there and enact his agenda. I mean, I would be sent around the country to give speeches. I knew exactly what to say because I got it from him. So it was great. And I also want to say he was very humble and thoughtful guy. And I remember taking my parents in to meet him in the Oval Office. And when we're done, we're going out, and I turned around to wave and thank him. And he says, "Did I do all right?" And, you know, he had convinced my parents that it was just he and me, and we were winning the Cold War together. So my father floated that forever.
Of course. And then we can't leave without remarking on the long relationship he had with Nancy. And they seemed to be in their own world when they were together, and nobody else was in it.
Very much so. I remember on one occasion, this was in 1986, he was campaigning for Republican candidates across the country. And he was going to go out to, I don't know, Oregon or Washington somewhere to do it. And we had him booked to go out there and campaign for whomever it was, and then bring him back to Washington. Well, in short order, we heard from Mrs. Reagan, who said, "My husband may be president of the United States, but he's also 70, whatever he was at that point, and you are not sending him all the way across the America and then bringing him back on the same day. We will be staying overnight in Los Angeles." To which, you know, we young kids said, "Yes, ma'am, we got it."
Yeah, because she was always looking out for him, and she didn't trust anybody else, certainly not the press with him. But a remarkable man, and his birthday, I don't know how old he would have been. I think it was 1911 he was born on February 6th. So
I think he would have been 111.
Yeah, how about that? The final thought. Jeffrey?
He was in good shape. He lived to 94. I think, in fact, he's the oldest living former president of the United States.
Even though mentally, I mean, I don't want to ignore the fact that he had problems later in life.
Later, and that came, I was at his final birthday party in 1994, his final public appearance with Margaret Thatcher. And when it was over, he was in the sort of staff room or area or whatever. And he turns to Mrs. Reagan, and the doctor was right there. And he turns to Mrs. Reagan and says, "Well, I'm not quite sure where I am. Can you tell me where I am?" And she turns to the doctor and says, "You see, John, this is what I'm talking about." That was February of 1994, and they made the public announcement a few months later, and he was never in public again.
And I don't think anybody will forget Nancy Reagan putting her hand and her head on his casket, the flag-draped casket. That was, anybody that's ever loved someone and lost them, everybody was living through that. So,
they were a team, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Very
Jeffrey, unique.
Thank you so much for your thoughts. We appreciate it.
You bet, Bob.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.